Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and once again, Merry Christmas!
And a Happy New Year. Allegedly.
Supposedly. Okay, so, this is our final Christmas review of the year. If you haven't had a chance, be sure to go back and check out our reviews of the White Christmas special from the hit Netflix show Black, what is it?
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror.
And
As well as,
it didn't start as a Netflix show.
right, but it is on Netflix now, and it is a great show. It's a
It is,
British
but
show.
the Christmas special wasn't part of the Netflix made one.
Oh, okay, fair enough. My apologies. But it is a, whoops. Sorry. Didn't mean to do that. And of course, our previous reviews of Nutcracker and Untold Story and Arthur Christmas, both of which are available on our channel, so check those out. But today we're here to talk about The Polar Express, and I apologize for all the glare going on here. I don't usually do this during the day. But yes, The Polar Express, of course, based on the classic children's picture book of the same title about a young boy who awakens on Christmas Eve and goes on a magical train ride to the North Pole to see Santa. The movie stars Tom Hanks as everybody, including but not limited to the boy's father, the conductor of the train, a number of other Santa, and a number of other characters that appear over the course of the film.
Wasn't he also the hobo on the train?
He was the hobo on the train, and I think he was also the engineer on the train too, wasn't he?
Wasn't he just a conductor?
No, he was the. There were two different characters: the conductor and the engineer.
I know, that's why I said, wasn't he just a conductor? As in, only the conductor, not the engineer.
I could be wrong. You might be right.
And he's the narrator.
And he's the narrator. So, the film was directed by Robert Zemeckis, and it was using a at the time, a brand new type of animation that involved motion capture and scanning, facial scanning, in order to bring the characters to life. This was the first movie to ever use this special type of animation, and it went over fairly well. There was a bit of an uncanny valley situation with the faces, but overall, the movie is absolutely gorgeous.
See, I thought the faces were perfect.
Okay.
Like, if you look at the conductor, the second he comes on the screen, you're like, it's Tom Hanks! You instantly recognize him. You know who he is, even with his goofy-ass mustache, no offense, and his conductor's a uniform. It's a case of, you're like, oh my god, it's Tom Hanks!
It is. It is.
No offense.
No, not taken. But yeah, it's a great. It's just really one of those films that just captures the spirit of Christmas, and that's really cool.
Yep, and you can tell this is a good film from the fact the second this came out, how many rip-offs of that animation style or films trying to cash in on it were there? Like Beowulf,
Jim Carrey's Christmas Carol.
Yep. I think this one was actually good. Monster House was a little like that.
Yeah, it's similar animation. Yeah.
That one I'm okay with because, like I said, it's actually a good film. A lot of them just felt like that's all they needed. Like Beowulf, it's like it wasn't that good. Whereas this one, you're like, okay, you got a good story, you got the good animation, which it's like Toy Story, also starring Tom Hanks. But basically, when Toy Story hit and suddenly people realized you could use 3D animation to make cool cartoons, so many people copied it.
Oh yeah.
It's like DreamWorks. They made Shrek and they proved fairy tales, if done with like a modern twist based on a book. Shrek is based on a book, which a lot of people don't realize, but
it is.
That spawned like Happily Never After and Hoodwinked and stuff like that. It's like none of them were ever Shrek, and that's how. It's weird, but that's how you can tell a great animated film is when once it's come out, there's loads of rip-offs.
Yeah, and 3 Shrek sequels that, while not terrible, did not need to exist.
Yep. Technically, multiple Shrek sequels because it's arguable whether or not you want to count Puss in Boots because it's a spin-off / sequel.
That is true.
And it's also a hit Netflix show.
Is it? Okay.
It's up to season 4 right now.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a really good show. I highly recommend it. But yeah, basically,
I assuming they're still not paying Antonio Banderas to be in that.
I actually he might be in that as Puss in Boots. I couldn't tell, but regardless, it was a case of yeah, like I said, like to me that instantly just means this film clearly had something.
Oh yeah. It was that lightning in a bottle effect where just it pulls you in. You feel like the kid in the movie who's being pulled into this whole magical thing of he wakes up and all of a sudden, he has this, this weird ticket for this train, and the conductor invites him on, and this train is just, there was never a train there, a tracker there, or anything there before. They're going through the wilderness and up and over mountains and across an ice lake and all this crazy driving and everything else.
He's got a golden ticket.
He does.
No, that song literally came in my head the second he pulls it out. I assume that'd be in everyone's head because
you would think
it's literally a golden ticket.
It is.
There's no other word to describe it than golden ticket.
No. And they did a really great job capturing the spirit of the book, and they did so without adding, with what they added worked for the purpose. It's okay, we're going to add some more scenes. The train's going to do some crazy stuff. Oh, we're going to have a musical number about Coco, which is great.
I had a theory about this film when it first came out. I realized on second or third viewing and stuff now it's not really accurate.
Okay.
I assumed it was a dream.
Ah.
Not sure if you thought that before now.
It could have been, yeah. I could see where you would get that idea.
There's only one reason I thought it was a dream. There's multiple, but from the get-go, you hear the father speak, and it's Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
But you don't see him. Then you see the train conductor, and it sounds like his dad.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, maybe that's like, when you're dreaming, it's only people are in different roles, and it's based on people you know, like the Alice in Wonderland effect.
Yeah.
And like when he's doing the whole punching of the ticket, it's not just doing it twice. He goes fucking batshit crazy on that ticket, which is how kids totally see people do those tickets.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, is this like a dream about kids struggling to try and make sense of the Santa Claus thing? It's not, because I realized by the end, I realized now on the ending of the film completely negates that and means it all happened.
Yeah.
But I thought, oh, it's cool. It's like a psychological layer that maybe kids wouldn't get, but adults would understand what's going on. But
that's a good interpretation. I like that.
Yeah, it's completely wrong by the ending, though.
Yeah, but it's still clever. But yeah, I really, like I said, it really pulls you in, and I like the fact that this captures the spirit of the book, and it really, in such a way that it fits in, even though they added things to, get it up to an hour and a half for a movie. It all still feels like it's part of the story. It still feels like it's part of that same adventure. You still get that feeling of Christmas and, they're meeting Santa and giving the presents and the kids having to learn lessons, and then all the conductors hole punches their lessons in one word into their tickets and on the way home, all kinds of. Whereas I was thinking of this and compared to other movies that you see where they're adapting a children's book into a movie, and in order to make it an hour and a half, they have to add a bunch of stuff that wasn't there, and it ends up ruining the movie. And that always bothers me when that happens.
Except for Shrek. I argue with Shrek. That's one of the rare ones where it may be better than the book, because I've read the book afterwards. It might just because I was an adult. I was like, this isn't as good as Shrek.
Yeah, I can see why. But sometimes they can do it right. Like I said, this did it right. And I would say even something. What the hell?
Sorry.
And another one that always comes to my mind in this kind of thing is Jumanji. The Jumanji movie with Robin Williams is, that was just about, these two kids play the board game, animals come out and other things come out and go crazy, and the hunter, they got to put it back. They added this whole other layer of, there was a kid in the past and he got trapped and then he comes back in this whole multi-era thing. They did a really great.
And then it was looking like wild thornberries as the guy with the gun keeps chasing him every episode. Sorry, that wasn't the film. God, that cartoon sucked.
Wild thornberries.
No, not the Wiring of Thornberrys. The Jumanji cartoon really sucked.
Oh, that show. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
where
was
like I said,
weird.
it's the Wild Thornberry style, and you have like the guy with the gun. Every episode, they found an excuse for him to come back, and you're like, stop it, please,
Well, he
stop
was the
it.
main. He was the closest thing they had to a main antagonist.
Yeah, but I put to you like Mummy's Alive, which was based on the Mummy films, and other films where they've been based on stuff. They invent new enemies.
True.
It's a board game. There's spaces they didn't hit. Invent a
Yeah,
new enemy, like a
yeah,
tribes person or voodoo master or
yeah.
something.
The I remind you, the cartoon show based on the Bryan Fraser Mummy movies is really good. Um,
It was.
but yeah, and I like it's sometimes you can get away with that, like I said. Whereas in Jumanji, they added a lot of stuff that wasn't there, and it really enhanced and made a completely new story. But it was still good, and it felt like it was true to the book. This did the same thing, but without, because of its nature, having to add a lot of new crazy things. And it just felt like it was things that were in the book that we just didn't see. And I
Mhm.
thought that was really cool the way they did it in this movie, because it's hard to pull that off, especially with such a short book, and they managed to do it.
Yeah, like then it normally ends up being controversial. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna say it, which not a lot of people will say. The Grinch with Jim Carrey, not terrible. I
No,
like
that's
that
not.
film. I like that film. The stuff they added was actually cool. Yeah, it's cool to hate on it just because it's the Grinch, but
Mhm.
it looked cool and it was good, and it gave him a backstory.
It did. Yeah, I like that movie. It's certainly better than that Cat in the Hat movie.
Yeah, which even that's not terrible, as terrible as people made out.
Mm.
But yeah, it's still not the best. It's, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's not the Lorax that completely sold out its premise before it even came out.
But when it comes to like I said, when it comes to the Polar Express, that looked really good. Like, and the atmosphere in that alone is brilliant. Like that hobo. Let me ask you a question. Do you believe in ghosts? No. Huh. Interesting. And walks off. Which I will admit, I recently just watched Pirates of the Caribbean. And right when I watched that scene on this, I was half expecting him to go, "Oh, well, you're in one." But I was like, "Oh, wait, no, different film." But still, that's a great. It's got a great atmosphere, and like the kid, he's not a terrible kid.
No, not at all. The kid is actually Daryl Sabara, who you might know as the boy Spy Kid.
Mm-hmm.
He actually did the voice for this.
Oh no, I meant the kid isn't a terrible kid, as in he's not a bad, like misbehaving kid. Like the amount of times the kid just doesn't believe in Santa, yet and he's still going to try and save the girl and put other people's needs first. He's a good character.
Yeah.
He just doesn't happen to believe in Santa, which is great. They're not vilifying him for not hating Santa. Well, not hating, not believing in Santa.
How dare you not hate Santa?
Yeah. To be fair, if you hate Santa, you do believe in him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but overall, it's a really, really enjoyable movie. It'll really pull you in. If you have a 3D TV, I don't know if this exists in a 3D Blu-ray. I would assume it does based on its premise. So
Mhm.
if you get a chance, watch it in 3D. It's really good. But even if just watch this movie. It's a really enjoyable film. Tom Hanks does a great job at all the roles. First time I watched it, I didn't realize that he was anybody but the conductor. It was only in retrospect that I went, wait, Tom Hanks was Santa, and he was this other guy.
Well, the conductor and the dad do use the same voice.
Yeah, the dad you can kind of tell, and the narrator was obviously him, but.
Yep. But yeah, that's cool, and it is a magical journey.
It is, and
It's
that's
got it's got it's got action pieces that make it feel epic,
yeah,
but it also has just a good premise.
it does.
And when they get to the North Pole, it looks all magical and it looks all cool. It just looks cool.
It does. Then Santa gives out the first present of Christmas. It's
Yep.
awesome.
And it's gonna be to one of you.
Hmm.
Didn't like the kid on the train. The
Oh,
stereotype,
the douchebaggy kid.
the stereotypical nerd. I wouldn't even call him a
Yeah,
douchebag. He was just a stereotypical nerd. He's like got the
man, dark.
glasses. He's like, I'm gonna do this, and it's like, oh, stop it.
He was man, dark.
No, don't go save that girl. Who cares if she dies? We might not get a present.
Yeah.
Fuck
And I
you.
like, and him and the girl have to, convince the other kid that they like slightly heavier set kid to come out of his shell and be their friend. That's great.
Yep. And like I said, the animation on this looks great. Like I've watched it now, it still holds up. Like I said,
Yeah, which is
like when you see like the reveal of Tom Hanks conductor, you're like, oh my god, it's Tom Hanks, and it looks like him.
it does.
And their characters actually have multiple facial expressions.
They do.
Something Rey from Star Wars could learn from.
Oh.
Tell me I'm wrong. Well, tell me I'm wrong. He has multiple facial expressions and just one. She has less facial expressions than Bella in Twilight.
Oh.
Just throwing that out there.
Ouch.
But yes, it looks like it's a good film.
It is. It's very enjoyable. I highly recommend everybody go check it out if you get the opportunity. Definitely 95. It's a great, great movie. And it'll catch everybody's heart. And if you get a chance, read the book too. Because if you read the book and then go into the movie, I think you can have a better experience personally. Although the movie does stand well on its own.
Ignore the book. It'll ruin the film for you. Because then you'll know what's happening. Look at the book like what it is. It's basically a short IMDb review. Ignore it until you see the film.
No.
The book's just the abridgment. And somewhere Jim's rolling over in his grave.
All right, folks. Well, this has been a wrap-up of our Christmas reviews for the year. We thank you for joining us. We'll see you next year for whatever Christmas movies we decide to come up with.
It.
Oh, well, I said it was like a 95. Maybe you didn't.
Oh, see, I thought you said that for the last one. I didn't hear you say it for this one, but yeah, I'd give this a firm watch. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. Like I said, that one kid annoys the crap out of me, but the rest of the film's good.
Yeah, agreed. So, thank you for joining us for our Christmas reviews for this year. We'll see you next year for whatever great reviews we come up with. Go check out the Polar Express and all the wonderful movies that we have reviewed this year. And Black Mirror, now available on Netflix. For Chris the Mole, I'm James Phoenix.
But it may be a little weird for you to check them out now. Because officially Christmas is dead, but in time for next year, you might check them out.
Yeah. Fair enough. And
spoiler, at the bottom of his t-shirt says bitch.
Nutcracker. Good try, though. We'll see you next year, folks.
Please leave a comment below of what you think the bottom of your t-shirt says. He is a son of a what?
Fuck you.
Best comment wins a clap.
There you go. All right. Merry Christmas, everybody. We'll see you later.
And a Happy New Year.